4.5 years ago.
Yeah,
I think it was about 4 years ago. Started a friendship with August. And we became good friends. We actually became really good friends. We actually became really, really good friends.
3 hours later.
We actually became really, 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 really. Cray cray.
I can't imagine a more despised individual right now than Jada Pinkett-Smith. Sure, we had Amber. For years, we saw all of Amber's dirty laundry getting aired, and look, she was very easy to dislike. But Jada Pinkett-Smith is hated for basically almost universally. This is one thing that I can say across almost all walks of life. Doesn't matter if you're white or black or conservative or liberal. People just want this woman to shut up and go away. No one cares about her. She keeps bringing up Tupac's name because it gets her headlines. She's been on Good Morning America like 25 times in 3 days, just endlessly embarrassing Will Smith. She is a succubus that really knows no bounds whatsoever. And you have some people in the media defending her. Of course, mainly that moron Jemele Hill, who, if you remember, had a big idea. She wanted to go be a political commentator, quit ESPN, and has been flailing around in absurd, for nobody ever since. Her new memoir, Worthy, the actor Jada Pinkett-Smith quotes the Marvel comic superhero Wanda Maximoff to point out how women are often punished by double standards. During a tense exchange with Doctor Strange in the blockbuster Marvel movie, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Maximoff reminds the male title character of how differently she is perceived because of her gender, even though both possess powerful supernatural abilities that can benefit or endanger humanity. You break the rules, you become a hero. I do it, and I become the enemy. Well, didn't she enslave an entire city? All powerful and still the victim. That sure sounds like some individuals, doesn't it? As if I was a more cynical, there's women again. There's a feminist. She's a feminist. All the money in the world, all the power in the world, and still the victim. That's such a feminist take. For weeks, Pinkett-Smith has been the subject of widespread criticism and mockery over revelations in her 400-page memoir no one asked for, including the jaw-dropping assertion that she and her husband, A-list actor Will Smith, have been secretly separated, don't really care. How Jada Pinkett-Smith is moving, it really doesn't make you want to be that close with a woman, the hip-hop star Rick Ross said via Instagram Live last week. It really makes you reconsider ever being married. Dang, baby, you're talking so much personal business. The onslaught of criticism directed at Pinkett-Smith inspired a slew of internet memes, many of which had the same central theme that she's oversharing, and through her candor about disappointment she has felt in her marriage, emasculating her husband in the process. Well, that's what she's doing. She doesn't like her marriage, so she's on a national press tour cucking the guy. Having now read Worthy in its entirety, imagine doing that. I find all the criticism of Pinkett-Smith horribly unfair. Shocking! A black feminist female thinks that Jada Pinkett-Smith did nothing wrong? Unfortunately, when a black woman takes on the courageous step of voicing their plan, frustrations, and vulnerabilities, they're routinely met with derision, skepticism, and disdain. It has nothing to do with her being black. What a ridiculous statement. This woman sees everything in her life through the lens of race, and that's why she's so incredibly ridiculous and discarded in really anybody who has more than 3 brain cells. Why would you even write that book in the first place? Why do you think that the general public needs to know or cares to know about your secret boom boom time room with Will Smith? Why would you need to write a book to publicly humiliate the man? By the way, none of the criticisms that I've seen of this individual have anything to do with her being black. I mean, left-leaning, uber-liberal Saturday Night Live, which we're going to get to in a second, absolutely torched the woman. Pretty sure it was a black lady that did it too. I'll have to double check. And I think that you would go on this, a series of incidents and gossipy rumors in recent years have turned many peoples against her. In 2020, the singer August Alsina, a friend of Jaden's, told the interview that he and Pinkett-Smith had involved in a romantic, but they were. She hooked up with her son's friend. Blech. In her book, Pinkett-Smith adds more context, explaining that Chris Rock and her husband have had an antagonistic relationship for years, and she was just as surprised as anyone by her husband's volatile reaction, primarily because at that point the two had been living largely separate for years, which included living in separate homes. Pinkett-Smith is not a villain, and her husband is not a victim. Well, I don't think Will Smith is a victim. I mean, the guy's got, piles of money that go to the moon. But she's clearly a succubus that has destroyed his will to live. You look in that man's eyes, and there's just nothing but sadness. There's nothing but, just pure, unadulterated sadness. You see, SNL mocks Jaden Pinkett-Smith's memoir bombshells, Never Go to Bed Happy. Saturday Night Live took aim at Jada Pinkett-Smith following the release of her buzzworthy new memoir, Worthy. Jada Pinkett-Smith is on the same list for me, auto-mute on Twitter. I don't care anything about Jada Pinkett-Smith. I don't care anything about what Taylor Swift does. I don't care about Travis Kelce. I don't care about Amber Heard anymore. Muted. Across the board. During the weekend update from Saturday's episode, Michael Che interviewed Ego Nwadum in character as the Girls Trip star, while the two poked fun at the bombshell revelations in her tumultuous marriage to Will Smith. Quote, "The day we got married, I knew there was going to be trouble. At our wedding, someone stood up and said they objected." She said. When asked who that person was, she quipped, "It was me. Yeah, it was me." The comedian continued to make digs at the couple's decades-long union and the actress's penchant for oversharing about their relationship by joking they had discovered the secret to marriage. 23 years later, Will and I are still a unit, and it's because we have learned that the secret to successful marriage is never going to bed happy, she said. She even went so far as to say in a solid fortified place after publicly cucking her millionaire husband. They actually said that in the SNL bit. I mean, that's what's hilarious. Joking about the separation and decision not to file divorce, SNL quipped that divorce is not an option because she has principles. If we got divorced, he could mess around and end up getting happy, and I can't have that. The comedy skit even addressed the infamous Oscars moment, which she joked gave life to their marriage. "It was the first time in years that I ever felt like a wife, and now I'm so clear on what we must do if we ever start drifting apart again," she said to Che. "The next time we hit a rough patch, I'm going to ask Will to go after Kevin Hart, to end Kevin Hart." The SNL stars also touched on Smith's recent appearance during the press tour. "We have a very, very long, tumultuous relationship we call Brutiful. It was brutal and beautiful at the same time," the actor 55 said on stage in Baltimore Wednesday, and that the marriage was a sloppy public experiment in unconditional love. In response, SNL joked that, quote, "other people refer to their marriage as brunhealthy or brutal and unhealthy." Pinkett-Smith has received plenty of flack for her candid revelations, with some critics calling the book a cash grab. Of course it is. The View co-host Alyssa Farron Griffin also slammed the mother of two for oversharing about the inner workings in their marriage. "I think she needs to be more in tune with Will's feelings," she said Tuesday. Well, when you have the media, even when the left-leaning media turns against you, perhaps you have overstepped your bounds. Perhaps. I mean, if you go even to the comments, right, on the SNL page, by the way, this is trending. She absolutely killed it with the sketch. I knew there was going to be a sketch on Jada because her ridiculousness is insane. She portrayed her ridiculousness so accurately. "He could mess around and end up happy." Iconic line. The fact that she wrote a book looking to profit off her broken marriage is pretty hilarious. I mean, Jada and Will's marriage is a testament on how weird Hollywood is. When she said she's tired because she's been on the Today Show 14 times, I spit out my cocktail. I mean, everybody is complete. Yeah, this is a perfect burn on Jada. I was there at her book talk in Baltimore Library where Will showed up toward the end and described the relationship as brutal and sloppy public experiment. Tonight's take on Jada by Ego is perfect. You had to be there to get it. I'm laughing so hard. I mean, they should have devoted the entire skit since Jada can't stop talking about her broken marriage and undying love for her soulmate. Tupac. I mean, this is, Two Pinkett had me. Even, again, how bad it has to be to have, Saturday Night Live roast you. Even when Will Smith continues to try to cover for her. Will Smith has appeared to mock the publicity storm surrounding his relationship with Jada Pinkett in a video called Official Statement, shared on Instagram on Tuesday. Here's the thing. My opinion is the actor said before sneezing into the crook of his arm. As he sneezed, the video comically zoomed out to show several different landscapes, including lakes and mountains. Smith's video comes as his wife. So Will Smith is saying, like, I don't care. Like, I'm not tripping over this.
I got something for you. Here's the thing. So, my opinion of the...
So it shows him, like, I get it. But the sooner this lady stops being on the front page of news. I mean, I don't know who buys these books. That's what who buys a Jada Pinkett-Smith memoir? I'm genuinely curious. I want to meet you. I want to pick your brain. I want to talk to you because she's such an awful woman. It seems like a pure succubus that I guess maybe morbid curiosity would qualify as a reason. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below who you think is buying this book. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. And if you haven't yet, please do subscribe down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.